What is the need of expressing breast milk when you do not know how to store it? You are going to waste that white gold. Yes, I call it white gold. Breast milk is called white gold because it's something unique God gave to man that you cannot find elsewhere, and you cannot just replace it. Okay, so I used to think before now that storing breast milk is just about putting it in freezer and bringing it out, feeding baby. But there are step-by-step guidelines you have to follow so that you don't make mistake or give your baby a bad milk without knowing. Yeah, so if that is what you are interested in, please do not leave this video. Watch this video to the end because no knowledge is a waste here. If you're seeing this face for the first time, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nelly's Corner, a mom vlogger, content creator that stays in New York, but I'm from Imo State, all in Nigeria. If you have not joined this family, hit the red subscribe button and let's go. One thing you have to understand in storing breast milk is that there are three types of breast milk. Okay, you have one breast milk, okay? But once you pump that breast milk, there are three ways you can handle it. Or let's say there are three ways you can classify it. So the first classification is freshly pumped breast milk. That's the one you just freshly pump and your baby has not drank it. Then we have told breast milk. Told breast milk has to do with the one that maybe you put inside freezer, it's all frozen up. Then before you give it to baby, you put it inside the hot water for it to go through a reheating process. That is what they call thawed. I'm going to leave the name on the screen. Then the next one, where you can classify your breast milk once you pump it, is the one that has been told, but your baby remains some because he couldn't finish it immediately. So there are different ways you can handle this so that it doesn't get spoiled. Before then, the two main places where you can store your breast milk is your freezer and your refrigerator, and also your counter, like that's a room temperature. So I'm going to go into details how long they can last in each of these storage places. That's the refrigerator, freezer, and your room temperature. So let's start with the freshly pumped breast milk. The freshly pumped breast milk can last for as long as 6 months in your deep freezer, as long as you have light. You're not living in Nigeria. Okay, oh, I know it's not really Nigeria that has that comma. So as long as you have steady light where you live, you can store your freshly pumped breast milk in your deep freezer for as long as 6 months. In the refrigerator, that's in your fridge, you can store your freshly pumped milk for as long as 6 days, okay, in the refrigerator. Then your freshly pumped milk, if it is outside, like it is not in your freezer, it is not in your refrigerator, it is in your room temperature, not under the sun, okay, it is in a cool place like your kitchen counter, it can last as long as 4 hours. Then if you are, in case you are moving out with a freshly pumped milk, okay, and you stock it inside a cooler filled with ice packs, that freshly pumped breast milk can last as long as 24 hours in the cooler. If you're using a Zubo cooler, oh, yes, that is if you're using a good cooler that can preserve ice packs, it can last as long as 24 hours. That's one full day. Okay, so let's go over to the told milk. That is the one that has gone through a reheating process. If you bring out a frozen breast milk from the freezer and you reheat it, mind you, you don't reheat baby's milk by boiling or by microwaving. No, you're going to kill all the nutrients in there. So the best way you can reheat your baby's food, that's the breast milk, is by thawing. What do we mean by thawing? That is, you put a hot water in a bowl and now put in the breast milk, okay, inside the hot water. That is thawing. And once you thaw, any breast milk you thaw, please do not put it back inside the freezer. I think it is because it has gone through the heating processes, so there's no need to bring putting it back inside the freezer. That is why, while storing your breast milk, you store them in storage bags. I'll put the picture on the screen here. You store your breast milk in storage bag, and when you are putting your breast milk inside that storage bag, put the quantity you know your baby can consume at a time, so that you do not waste milk. If your baby consumes 20 ml at a time, then measure out 20 ml and put it in the storage bag. Let's just be that 20 ml, because once you take it out from the freezer, you cannot send it back in. I'm still going to come back to the best storage bags to use and how to label it. That will be at the end of this video. But before then, let's go back to how to handle a thawed breast milk. That's a reheated breast milk. So another thing you should watch out for is, once you feed your baby your breast milk and he remains some, look, that little one he remains can only last within 1 to 2 hours um at a room temperature, because there's no need sending them back inside the freezer. Reason, because as the baby is sucking from the feeding bottle, he is exchanging spit, saliva with the breast milk. He sucks in breast milk, and somehow saliva gets into the feeding bottle. So those saliva will form some microorganisms. That one, let's leave it for the experts, okay? This one, I'm just a mother, experienced mother, okay? I'm not into microbiology. So those saliva he has mixed with the milk will cause it to spoil easily. So he should use it between 1 to 2 hours. Okay, after 1 to 2 hours, discard it and don't put it inside freezer. Okay, that is why it's good to measure out the particular ounces or the particular meal your baby can finish at a time. So now let's get into the appropriate containers to use for storing your baby's breast milk. The first one is the milk storage bags. Those milk storage bags are not reusable, okay? I think you use and you discard. It comes in different brands, and some you can find some 50 pieces for 7,000, 50 pieces for 5,000. I will attach the picture here. They are storage bags, okay? You measure out the quantity and you seal it up. Remember, it's always good to label your storage bags. Labeling your storage bags here means adding the date and time of which you pumped that particular breast milk, okay? Labeling your breast milk will help you to minimize wastage, and also it will also help you to know how long a breast milk has stayed in the freezer or refrigerator, okay, so that you don't give your baby a stale milk. Then another storage bag you can use is either the plastic or glass container that has a tight cap. If you watched up to here, do me the favor, give this video a thumbs up, click on the red subscribe button. I'll see you guys in my next video. So for now, bye bye.